You know that video works when it comes to grabbing people's attention and bringing in sales, but for some reason, when the red light starts blinking, your mind goes blank. I've been there at the beginning of this show. I was there. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get over the anxiety of being on camera and create video content that converts. But before we do,
stop burning cash on campaigns that flop and quit watching buyers bail for your competitors. Get ads that turn your prospects into brand fanatics that devour your every offer, shun your competition, and do your selling for you. The problem's not your offer, your targeting, or your creative. It's the played out marketing guru's playbook that's broken. If you're selling high ticket in a highly competitive or highly regulated market, you need something different. Discover what's actually working now at cultishcontent.com/campaigns. If you're done with launching to crickets, make your next campaign cultish. Go to cultishcontent.com/campaigns today. And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back to Cultish Content. I'm Nathan Frazier.
And I'm Lily Elizabeth.
And today we're going to be talking about what we're doing right now, creating video content. This is, in my opinion, probably the best way to attract attention and bring in new leads. And we're going to talk about why that is and how to get comfortable being on camera. And Lily, welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. Happy Monday.
Happy whatever day it is when you happen to be watching this.
Every time.
All right. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. Why is video so important in today's content marketing?
It is the most consumed content. Short reels, scrolling on YouTube. That's where I hang out.
That's where pretty much everybody hangs out nowadays. If you're not creating video, you're ignoring the biggest attention source that you can get right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's go ahead and, you know what? Actually, before we get into that, there's a couple of advantages that video has over other pieces of content. Number one, video establishes a connection with your audience. More than just scrolling your posts on Twitter or Facebook and seeing whatever memes you posted. Video is like that. You hear them, you see them. If they're making eye contact with the camera, there's something about that just pulls people in. Faces, we're naturally drawn to faces. You brought something else up though before we started the show, which is
your eye naturally gravitates towards whatever's moving. So if you've got a still image next to a beautiful attention grabbing video that's moving, I'm moving my hands, I got a moving mouth. It's probably going to grab more attention because the eye's naturally gravitating towards whatever's going on.
Yeah. So whatever platform you're on, even if you're on a mostly image and text-based platform like Facebook, video is still going to stand out. So if you're not making video content to market yourself, you're missing out on the biggest source of attention, the biggest revenue out there. So let's go ahead and one last thing.
Yeah.
Video especially if you've got a good setup like we have, video establishes you as a trusted authority.
I like that.
So one thing that in the age of TikTok where everybody just makes videos with their iPhones, that's great. But if you really want to stand out, having good lighting, having good cameras, having a good setup will be that extra cherry on top to really set you apart from all of the other content out there and establish you as top tier amongst all of your peers. So
giving me ideas for next episode.
Yeah. So we have lots of reasons to be creating video, but the fact of the matter is a lot of people freeze when the camera turns on. And I used to deal with this as well. Did you ever deal with this?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, these lives were the most nerve-wracking for me at first.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. These were it.
Okay. But you've gotten really good at them.
Thank you. I'll take it.
So let's go ahead and start off. How do we make it easier to create this type of content?
Don't let fear stop you. Be weird. Be you ×2, like Amy Porterfield says. Have fun with it.
I will say that is a good thing. You know what? We're going to skip to this. Was supposed to be the last part of the show. Lily jumped the gun a little bit. It is true. Being comfortable on camera is so important. And it's just like in person. If you're comfortable with yourself in person, other people find it easy to be comfortable around you. If you're not comfortable just being yourself, other people get uncomfortable. So if you're not comfortable on camera, it's going to be very uncomfortable for the viewer.
Yeah.
I like what you said. Amy Porterfield says this. Be you times two. One of our friends, Landon Porter, says, be your weird ass self.
Ooh, I like that too.
Let your freak flag fly. Just be you. Just go out there and understand you're not going to be for everybody.
Yep.
You are going to be for your niche of people like us. So be you for the people that like you, that are like you, and just be comfortable in your own skin. And that just in general, not just when camera is on, but just in general, being comfortable with you and not worrying about, am I going to impress them? Is this going to make them want to buy from me? Get rid of all of that stuff and just be like, hey, I'm good enough. I'm going to show up. I'm happy with me. And let that translate into your on video persona, and then dial it up 2 or 3 notches, be you times 2.
I like that. Let your personality shine.
I like that.
Really.
Okay. Other than that, though, a couple of steps that we do to get ready for when we're going to go on camera. Number one thing is having an outline. We generally put together a bulleted, it's not like a full script for these. It's just kind of like, hey, let's hit this point, then let's hit this point, and keep it simple, not a whole book. We're not trying to do a course every time we show up for one of these videos. We're just trying to hit one main topic with maybe 2 or 3 bullet points below it.
Exactly. A course sounds scary. I just want something simple, one main idea, something people can use and take away and find helpful.
Yep, exactly. And that also makes it a lot easier. When I first started working with Real Growers, they did 1.5 hour long podcasts, 2 hour long podcasts, and they'd hit 50 different topics. And then they'd say, hey, help us come up with a title for this episode. Well, you talked about 15 different things. I have no idea what to title this episode.
Confusion.
Yes. But if you say, hey, we're just going to talk about this one thing this week, and we're going to do a deep dive into 3 kind of sub points about that one thing, makes it a lot easier to figure out what the title is going to be, what the content is going to be about, and helps keep it on point. You don't want to be rambling off in 15 different directions.
That's true. I will say it depends on the person and the project on how I like set up my notes and my script. If it's micro content for like reels and shorts, I tend to write the whole script out and read it word for word, like a teleprompter kind of thing.
True that. I will do that as well. If we're doing something like this where it's 15 minutes, I cannot be looking down, looking back up, looking down and reading line for line. It's just not going to work.
Totally.
But for something that's only going to be 60 seconds long, yeah, I can definitely look at my phone, look back at the camera, or look at my laptop, look back at the camera. That works a lot better.
I like it.
Okay. The next point, so going in with a plan, the other thing, just real quick side note.
Yeah.
The other thing, if you go in with a plan, you say, hey, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to give these 3 points. I'm going to give a call to action at the end. That helps you from turning it into a 45-minute long ramble where everybody in the audience is like, yo, put the fries in the bag, G. Like, if you want to avoid that, have your bullet points, have hey, this is how I'm going to hook them in. This is the stuff that I'm going to cover. This is how I'm going to close the show, and makes it a lot easier.
Keep it stupid simple.
There you
go. For
go.
you and your audience's sake.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Cool.
And this is why, one of the many reasons why I love having you on the show.
Aww.
It's so much easier to just have a conversation with somebody than it is to look at the camera and talk to the camera the whole time.
More natural.
Yeah, much more conversational. I like it when it's less scripted, when we just have the points.
Yeah.
And then I like being able to just bounce stuff back and forth and get your take and then give my take.
And what's really cool is that we also have an audience to chat with too. I feel like that brings a whole nother perspective to it, you know?
Yeah. And the thing is if you've got somebody you're talking to, if you've got a live audience that you're talking with, you forget that the camera's there.
Yep. Makes it easier. Makes it more natural and flows easier.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't get, I got so lucky getting you as a co-host.
Thank you.
But if you can't get a co-host, another thing that works with my clients up until this point, our clients going forward, have somebody who knows how to interview, have somebody who is good at probing. Have somebody who's good at pulling good content out of you, and just have them off camera and have them asking you questions, leading the conversation. Give them a script or a template, an outline of what the episode's going to be about, and then just talk with them. And it's much like talking to an audience or talking to a co-host. Even if they're not part of the content, they can just go in and cut their own questions out, edit themselves out, and then it feels like you're just giving so much easier than trying to just sit there and talk to the camera.
Yeah, it would feel less stiff.
Exactly.
More fun.
Exactly. The point of that is it makes it feel like a casual conversation. It doesn't feel like a stiff, I got to get on camera and talk to the camera.
Yeah, there's less pressure there.
A lot less pressure. I think that's the main thing, is the more pressure you can take off of yourself by having somebody you can riff back and forth with, by having a clear outline. The less pressure you have, the more comfortable you're going to feel on camera, the more comfortable your audience is going to feel while they're consuming your content.
Makes sense.
Okay, this is like the bonus tip for this episode. This is really, though, what kind of wraps it all together. And that is, it's all in the edit. And Lily, this is where you shine. I give a lot of my work and a lot of my client work off to you to do the editing.
Oh yeah.
You always take what's there and turn it into a nice polished piece of content. So let's talk about some tips for editing and getting good edits, getting good content out of that conversation.
Yeah. I like what you have here. You say write drunk, edit sober, and focus on being weird. Focus on getting everything out there. And when you edit, don't worry about those weird faces you're making or your crazy hands flying all over. We can fix it in the edit. We can make you look perfect and acceptable.
And you know what? Sometimes those weird faces, I will be honest, some of the faces that you make in the episodes, those are my favorite parts of the show. And so I'm not going to name names, but we follow a lot of content creators, and we've gone through and examined their work. The ones that get animated, the ones that have fun while they're doing it, the ones that show their personality, whether it's cool, calm, relaxed, or over the top, Billy Mays type stuff. Those ones are always the ones that stand out for me.
That's where that BU ×2 comes out.
Exactly. There's other people that get on camera and so today we're going to talk about blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And if you're doing this and blah, blah, blah. And even if they're the most brilliant person at what they do, I cannot stand watching their videos.
I have a thing where I tend to yell at people. So we're all working on it here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can this has been us rambling for 15 minutes. When we cut it down, it'll be 12 minutes of solid gold. We'll keep in the personality. We'll keep in the fun stuff. We'll edit out some of the ums and the ahs. If we get redundant and we say something twice, maybe we'll cut out one of those. But having a good edit of your final piece of content also, going live is fine. But having a good edit really is what polishes it up and makes it to where people enjoy watching your content.
And that makes sense. I feel like people are crammed on time. They've got a time crunch constantly. They're always bombarded by content. So if you can get something quick, easy to implement, easy and helpful, easy to consume, that's where it's at.
Yep. And I will say this as a final point as we're out of here.
Yeah.
Micro content for just random scrolling when I'm in bed at 2 a.m. and I should be sleeping, but instead I'm just scrolling through 60-second videos. That's that point. When I want to actually learn something, I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to look for something that's 7 to 10 minutes long. Right. And I might just look where the most watched part of the video is and watch that minute and a half. And then if I really just want to have something on in the background that is entertaining to me and something I'm curious about, but I'm not like, I need to learn this right now, then I might listen to or watch an hour-long piece of content.
Yeah.
So that it depends on what mindset I'm in. If I'm just kind of randomly scrolling, there's content for that. If I'm actually trying to figure something out, there's content for that. And then if I just want to feel like I'm part of a community, hear what's going on in the culture, that's where that hour-long type of content, it does okay. It helps build the cult. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you really want to grab people's attention, establish yourself as an authority, that 7 to 12 minute long pieces of content, the way that we've laid out how to do them today, that's the sweet spot that really builds your audience.
Beautiful.
Okay, so those are our best tips on how to create content and be comfortable on camera. But what about you? What's the thing that causes the most anxiety for you when creating video content? Let us know in the comments below and we'll address it in a future episode. And until next time, we will catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Before we're out of here, do me a favor. If you like this video, let me know. Hit that like button. If you want to catch more videos like this, smash that subscribe button. If you know a business owner or a marketer who could benefit from what we talked about in today's video, share it with them. And check out the other couple videos YouTube's recommending. I bet you'll dig them.